On my other channel, Spike's Breezeway Cocktail Hour, we started the whole channel all about the history of tiki cocktails. And my buddy Swanky just put out a book about the dude who started the thing called tiki cocktails. Whether he realized it or not, Don the Beachcomber, and I have a menu here from 1941. I totally forgot. This is from Corona del Mar in 1941, just right down Coast Highway from where I live. And tonight we're gonna make a cocktail called the Test Pilot. Welcome to Tiki Cocktails with Spike.
Tiki Cocktails with Spike.
Okay, man, I love Don the Beachcomber cocktails, and I love a particular cocktail that's called the Test Pilot. It's right here, just kind of in line with the Don the Beachcomber documentary. This has appropriate era-specific graphics. I love the mythology of Don the Beachcomber. I love the way that the people who are really passionate about Don Beach celebrate him. And things like these books. Dude, there's a sticker. It says release the zombies. He's the guy that created the zombie. And on the inside, Spike, thanks for all your support. Mahalo, Swanky. One of my buddies from the tiki scene from like 20 years ago. So I'm proud of my friend to create such an in-depth, incredible book. Oh man, I'm seeing photos I've never seen before. If you are into the history of cocktails, if you're into the history of Hollywood, this is the book for you. And at the very back of this book, there are a bunch of Don the Beachcomber recipes. All of these pages right here. And a lot of these recipes were lost to time. And Swanky found the recipes in notebooks and all the archives that he had that were available to him to make this book. So let's make one of my favorite cocktails in the world, the Test Pilot. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make this cocktail in a tin. Okay, we are gonna start with 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice, 3/4 of an ounce of white grapefruit juice. That was one of the ingredients that Don the Beachcomber really harnessed as his own, white grapefruit juice. 3/4 of an ounce of honey syrup. This is just 1-to-1 honey and water. You're probably gonna have to heat it up a little bit. You don't wanna boil it because then you get rid of all the water. But just a little bit of heat and stirring, and then it'll all homogenize. Honey. What is that?
I don't know.
Is it a motorcycle?
Sounds like it.
And then we're gonna do 1/4 ounce of falernum. I like this falernum from Snug Harbor. Reminds me of a bar in Newport Beach that I used to get into with a fake ID in like 1997, 96, something like that. It's called Snug Harbor. They had bumper pool. And it was like a nautical bar, but I didn't know anything about nautical anything back then. 1.5 ounces of dark Jamaican rum. The thing I like about these kind of cocktails is it's like walking back to Los Angeles and Hollywood history. Like you can transport yourself back in time by making these recipes that they were making in Hollywood in the 40s. And so I think the reason why Don the Beachcomber named this the Test Pilot, not only was he in the military, but he also had all kinds of airmen and stuff that were coming to his bar. So it's a little bit of a historical, like a little bit of like a military thing, but also like who were the baddest dudes in the world back then? Test pilots.
Yeah.
And Howard Hughes supposedly, was going into his bar there on McCadden Place back in the 1940s. And so we're gonna do just 3/4 of an ounce of Puerto Rican rum. We're gonna do a dash of Angostura bitters. And we're gonna do a dash of absinthe. We'll just do a couple of big splashes. Wow, I think that might have been, well, it might be okay. Absinthe is another one of those ingredients from the 40s that Don the Beachcomber loved. I'm not saying that absinthe was from the 40s, but it was one of those ingredients that you don't see as much, or you didn't see for a long time in popular cocktail making until the craft cocktail thing started coming back around. But absinthe is kind of like black licorice flavored. It's polarizing. I don't always like it, but I like it in its appropriate place, in its appropriate quantities. So, the Test Pilot. Okay, we are going to add some ice to this. And in the true fashion of 1940s cocksmithing, we're gonna use a swizzle stick and we are going to swizzle. And that is just back and forth, up and down. This process kind of always grossed me out because, like, aren't you just rubbing like skin cells into your drink? Isn't that gross? I guess it's not a big deal if you're doing it for yourself though. So, all swizzled up. We're gonna pour that into a Don the Beachcomber cocktail glass. We're gonna add some more ice to Phil. Who's Phil? And of course, if you have wet ice, you want to make sure you get all of the water off of that ice before you pour it into your thing, your drink. Beat it. We're going to garnish that with a Breezeway Cocktail Hour Surfside Sip straw and with a Don the Beachcomber swizzle stick. They used to put these in the drinks at the Don the Beachcomber that the Hula Girls, my band, used to perform at in Sunset Beach, California. I love to celebrate my time at Don the Beachcomber in Sunset Beach with something that lived in that building. I do want to thank my friends at Tiki Land Trading for this incredible Hawaiian shirt. A lot of people ask me, where do I get my shirts? And Tiki Land Trading does a good job of kind of recreating the style of vintage Hawaiian shirts. And my buddy, Jeff Cornito, he designs all the cups and stuff at Disneyland, designed this. So if you're interested in this shirt or all kinds of other shirts that have this look to them, go to tikilandtrading.com and get yourself a shirt. Shirt. And so from our friend, Don the Beachcomber in 1941, this is the test pilot. And after I taste this, I'm gonna let you know that if I drank this in Don the Beachcomber in 1941, would I order it again? Or would I be like, we'll try something else, like whatever Mr. Howard Hughes is having? I love that drink. I love that drink so much. I think I like the Jet Pilot a little bit more, which was Stephen Crane's version of the Test Pilot, but this has all the nuances of a Don the Beachcomber cocktail, including falernum and absinthe and 151. Did it have 151? No 151, right? No 151?
I don't think so.
No 151. I think that's the difference between the Test Pilot and the Jet Pilot is Jet Pilot has a little bit more octane with the 151. But man, this is such a great cocktail. And yes, I would absolutely order this again if I was sitting in McCadden Place in 1941 with Howard Hughes. But I want to bring on editor Jared and see what he thinks about one of the most historic cocktails in all of cocktaildom. Don the Beachcomber was the inventor of the tiki bar. And I mean, man, he lived it. His whole life was built around being a showman, but also being this beachcomber, this character. This is the Beachcomber Cafe in Hollywood, California. Come on in.
Oh, okay.
This is the Beachcomber Cafe in Hollywood, California. This is what the original Don the Beachcomber looked like.
Oh.
Note these things.
Uh-huh. Hey, look at that.
I designed the front of the breezeway after that.
That's very cool.
Doesn't like look like a real tropical place, though, does it?
But like, I bet if you went inside, it was like...
Yeah.
Right.
But also, this was the 40s, so that probably like looks really tropical to people.
Yeah.
There he is again.
What a cool pose. What a cool guy.
I know. I want to welcome editor Jared to the show. Hey,
Hello,
dude.
everybody. Hey, I'm excited to try this, because which came first? Jet Pilot, Test Pilot?
Test Pilot first.
Of course, because the Test Pilot has to happen before the Jet Pilot can do his thing, you know? Test Pilot, right?
It's very true, yes.
All right, we're very excited.
Good way to look at it.
I like Jet Pilot, so...
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. The problem is ordering a Jet Pilot after you've been drinking all night, and then it just exacerbates all of the drunkenness.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's sweeter than a Jet Pilot.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like it.
Yeah, it just feels like it's missing some of the nuances, I think, of the Jet Pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see why probably the Jet Pilot's more of a popular tiki drink at a lot of bars.
I think there's cinnamon syrup in that.
You don't see the Test Pilot that much, really.
You don't really. That's a good point.
Did Howard Hughes, would he drink this? I thought he was just like drinking milk all the time. You know, from that movie with DiCaprio, it was just like he was drinking milk all the time.
Did he drink alcohol?
I don't know. Maybe, was there a scene with him with champagne?
I think everybody drank alcohol back then. I don't know. They said that he used to hang out at the Don the Beachcomber in Hollywood.
I had a friend one time in Pennsylvania. He had a horse named Howard Hughes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's nice horse.
Speaking of horses and Hollywood, I was dining at Musso and Frank's on Hollywood Boulevard before. Have you ever been there before?
I know, I haven't.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
It's the oldest restaurant in Hollywood.
Okay.
Since like the 20s.
All right.
If you've ever been to Hollywood Boulevard,
Yes.
it's a f***ing mess.
Yeah.
Of like homeless people and junkies. But then you walk through the doors of Musso and Frank's and it's like red leather booths. They shot parts of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood there.
Nice.
All kinds of stuff. So anyway, the maitre d' guy seats us in this corner booth right on Hollywood Boulevard. And he goes, this was Mr. Chaplin's booth. He liked this booth because he used to tie his horse up out front when he came here and dined and had cocktails at lunch on break from the studios.
And they wouldn't let the horse in to the bar.
Why would they let?
I don't know.
Why would they let the horse in?
I don't know. Sometimes, you know, they have dogs they let in the bars. You know, what is it called when you have a...
Like a service dog?
Yeah, like a service horse?
I think it's like...
I guess not.
I think that's like a modern thing.
Yeah. Well, you heard the one story about the one horse that went to the bar, right? You heard that one, right? Horse walks in the bar, bartender says, "Quite a long face." Huh? Try that joke at a party. 50-50 chance it'll do well. Or they'll ask you to leave. I've had both things happen. So, yeah, try it out.
I think you can leave now.
All right, enough horsing around. Huh?
If you enjoyed that, follow editor Jared on Instagram at Jared Show. The O is a 0. Yeah, it was very confusing. But if you enjoyed this, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and click on this link right here. YouTube thinks you might like this video.
Do you know you can get a DUI on a horse?
You can get a DUI on anything.